The television flickers bright light to a dark room, strobing the word "help" and a code the viewer does not know. It's prime time, and the man on screen is swallowing GMO-sized grubs before a crowd of screaming spectators. The man on the couch is not watching. Instead, Brent browses cows on his phone.
Oh, I'd eat the frick out of that one.
The cow is named Beverly, and he can pay $7,400 to be her sole consumer through the invite-only beta of a new app, Digester. Brent has been saving money specifically to afford the premium package, which includes videos of the slaughter, butchering, and tender pre-food moments. Beverly running, Beverly jumping, Beverly playing cow games with cow friends. The app tagline drips down from the header bar. Know what you eat. Secret knowledge like this tempts Brent. He worked his way up at Crow just to learn the secret ingredient. He envisions himself belonging to an elite class of humans.
So, I know Crowa's secret ingredient.
He brags to women at sports bars. He does more than simply know.
Yeah, I manage the extraction lab. Buy me a drink and I'll tell you about it.
They never do. Sensing something hidden behind his taut grin, the way he clenches his beers as though to shatter, hugs goodbye, like he's extracting some other secret ingredient. Brent adds Beverly to his cart. As he autofills his credit card info, his left eye begins to twitch. Then it burns.
Ow, 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 ow.
He whimpers, crab walking to the bathroom, his non-twitching eye scanning the checkout page for warranty information. Digester is not responsible for any prion-related illness. He is fishing a card out of his wallet to check the CVV code when he finally inspects his itching eye in the bathroom mirror. Webs of red veins surround the eye. It throbs, pulses with a faint heartbeat not his own. It seems to descend.
What the heck?
He is absorbed by his own destruction. He compares his eyes. The itching left seems smaller. On his phone, the checkout timer drops to 1 minute. He imagines someone snatching Beverly before him.
Oh no!
He leaves the bathroom and confirms his order. The low gas indicator blinks on Brent's dashboard as he pulls his truck into the Crowa parking lot. He bites his lip.
Gotta remember to get gas.
As a child, Brent lived across the street from the original Crowa factory, back when it was a more humble feature in Toledo, and not a city itself. He recalls where the other shops used to be in the current-day parking lot. A pharmacy where Candy's gold PT Cruiser is parked, the kind that still served pop. A veterinarian where Charles Tesla is parked. The whole southeast parking quadrant used to be a park where he would feed the ducks Pringles and Alka-Seltzer. Brent doesn't prefer it this way or that way. He cares how close he can park his truck.
Boom! Primo spots!
He says, wedging the truck between the neighboring cars. Inside, he sheds his home clothes in the locker room and zips up his static suit. He passes the "Authorized Personnel Only" sign and scans his employee badge. The door opens with a pneumatic pop. His nose burns with the smell of fennel as he enters the extraction room.
Good morning, guys and gals.
He shouts. No one looks up, his shout lost amid the constant whines of the giant, suspended worm. It sloshes in a tank of viscous gel, tubes chugging out of the growths dotting its belly and flank. When his second-in-command, Pila, notices his arrival, she gives his nitrile glove a fist bump.
Did you watch Wacky Food Show last night?
Uh-huh, loved it.
He says, distracted. The team stops what they are doing, wrangling giant syringes, rigging IVs, and running column distillations on samples, to regard him with the respect and dignity they do not believe he deserves. He answers questions no one asks.
Boy, if you ask me, this is the best job in the world.
He says, slapping the back of Garfin, a bald man in a grease-splattered static suit.
Things could be a lot worse.
He says, offering a low five to a woman in a severe ponytail. He pulls his hand away a moment before contact.
Look, I'm just happy to have a warm bed and a good job.
He nudges an elbow into the side of a small woman with a bowl cut. She drops a $2,000 syringe that shatters on the floor. Brent has never seen her before. He stares in open contempt. Pila runs over.
This is Tomsha. Just started today. Tomsha, this is...
Brandon. Brent Brandon. At your service, you can call me Brent.
He laughs, squeezing her hand with an audible crack.
Looks like you broke your syringe. Can't have that, right, guys? Let me help you out.
With a flourish, Brent grabs a new half-meter syringe from a drawer, removes the plastic casing, climbs up the platform, and plunges it into the worm's gray speckled back. It aspirates a high-pitched whine from a mouth that might be an anus.
Goodness.
Tomsha says. Brent does not like her tone.
Welcome to the team.
He sneers, then marches to his desk behind the solvent bottles. Between emails, Brent stares at the struggling worm, longer than corporate memo said he is supposed to. The secret site has always entranced him.
It's my right.
He thinks. His eye throbs. He needs a break. Brent approaches the worm tank, climbs the platform to rub his hand along its segmented back. The shivering creature recoils the same as if the hand was another needle.
Hey, when's lunch? I want some BBQ, baby.
5 minutes away from his house, Brent's truck begins to stall. He slams his fist on the steering wheel.
Oh shit, gas. Oh shit.
Brent believes the universe is a conscious presence that loves and serves him. He can feel it regarding him now, for at the stoplight stand two men. One is gangly and wild hair, a rag over one eye. The other is hidden up to his cheeks by a baggy, full-length winter coat, despite it being July. Between them is a red gasoline can. They wave at each car, motioning to the gas, tapping on windows. When they approach Brent's massive white truck, he surprises them by rolling the window down.
Gas, mister?
Asks the man in the coat.
Yeah, I'm running on fumes here.
He pops his gas tank door.
What do I owe you?
The two men confer with squints and shakes of head. The man in the coat turns to Brent.
$6.85.
Brent slaps his steering wheel like it was a pony's ass and yeehaws.
Ha, damn! How'd you get it so cheap? It's $6.96 by my house. You won't believe this. The other day I was at my mom's house, $7.04.
The men don't answer, just fill his tank. Slowly, the low fuel light dies on the dash, and the indicator rises.
Wow. I don't know what to tell you two. You guys saved my behind. Pardon my French.
He gives them $10 and only asks for $3 back. He's feeling generous. It isn't until he pulls into his driveway that the truck begins to rattle and whimper. He questions what exactly it was the two men poured in his car. He steps out, opens the gas tank, and sniffs.
Oof, it smells good.
The next morning, Brent's eye is locked open. A web of veins surrounds it, lids crusty, pupil covered by a thin film. He cannot blink. It is dry and turning purple, yet still, he delivers affirmations to the mirror.
There are some people with no eyes at all. Hey, I can still drive. It could be worse. I spend all day in a static suit. No one will even notice.
He puts in eye drops, then rubs Vaseline on his eyelids. He takes 2 vitamins. He rounds his truck to the driver's side door when his feet crunch something white littering the ground behind the tailpipe. He thinks it's glass, but glass doesn't turn to powder.
Must be like chalk or something.
He starts the car and corks his neck at the sound. It coughs and purrs, more guttural than mechanical, like a comedian imitating a car. As he drives, it sputters and stalls at the first red light. He pounds his fists on the steering wheel.
Ugh! Those dang bombs! What did they give me?
The car trembles and hiccups all the way to the Crow parking lot. He parks where there used to be a library. He tries to make a quiet entrance into the extraction chamber, stepping gently on the loose grating in the soundproofed room. Before he can even address his team, Pila shouts,
Oh my God, what happened to your eye?
Over a Zoom meeting, the regional head of operations himself coerces Brent to see the company physician over lunch.
What if an investor saw?
Charles tells him.
It'd raise eyebrows, that's for sure.
Brent leaves his lunch in the fridge with the worm distillate samples and follows directions not to a medical room, but to the legal floor. The doctor does not have an office, but a cubicle.
I didn't even know we had a doctor.
Brent says in a hushed voice. Keyboards clack through the low, thin walls.
Well, I'm not allowed to take patients. It's more advisory, what with the the lawsuits.
Brent pretends to zip his lips.
Whoop. Secret safe with me. You don't have to say a thing.
I can't write any prescriptions either. But honest, it's just nice to talk. Most days all I do is look at pictures of tumors.
She pretends to gag.
Ugh. The places they show up. I actually got surprised the other day. Poor kid had one on his tailbone.
Brent covers his ears.
La la la, I am not listening. La 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 la.
Sorry, where were we?
She wheels her computer chair closer.
Duh, your eye.
The doctor, not a doctor, shines her phone's camera flash into Brent's orbital socket.
Huh.
Tell it to me straight, Doc.
Your body's taking the eye back.
What?
A Slack message pings on the computer. The doctor wheels back.
Why would it do that?
She shrugs, then crinkles her eyes.
I could get in trouble if I say anything that could be considered treatment.
But what do I...
His hands draw circles in the air.
Are eye drops okay? Can I do stretches or something?
Her voice drops low.
Are you drinking Crow-Crowa?
Brent laughs.
Well,
The woman does not.
I mean, socially, yeah. On weekends, maybe if I...
Do not drink Midnight Thunder or Black Licorice Apple.
She grabs his wrist a little too tight.
And especially Ham Mint Twist.
Brent tries to break her grip, but cannot.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever.
Her nails dig into his wrist. She spits the next whispered words through clenched teeth.
Not a sip.
Brent drives to the gas station without depth perception. He doesn't know when to brake. Every stoplight is a panic, halting stops and near collisions. His head splits with a headache. At pump 9, he puts the nozzle into the tank and walks 2 steps away to check his phone. The first Beverly video should have arrived by now. As he refreshes his inbox, gas suddenly sprays out of the car.
Shitty shit. Attendant.
He darts a hand into the spray to turn off the nozzle. He pulls it dripping from the tank, But before he can return it to the holster, there is a second burst, not from the hose, but the car. The truck expels gas in a series of spit takes, spewing the last drops in a gurgle. The attendant arrives with a shout.
What the hell? You never pumped gas before?
Brent's cheeks are still burning when he stops at a light near his house. Passing between the stopped cars, he sees the two men from the previous night. They roll in office chairs down the middle of the gap.
Office equipment?
The gangly man asks as Brent rolls down the window. His face droops.
Oh, shit!
They make a run for it. Brent leaps out of his car door to chase. The light turns and a row of cars stuck behind the burping, jostling truck honk a strange chord. He tosses the wiry man against a Buick and both of them surrender.
What did you sell me? Huh? What was it, tough guy?
He grabs the coated man's lapels. The man covers his face and averts his gaze.
It was crow, okay, mister? It was just crow, honest.
Brent pauses.
What flavor?
Ham mint twist.
Brent lowers him.
It's on sale at Kroger.
The next morning, Brent Brandon crunches by his exhaust pipe again, but this time he takes a moment to look. The white substance is easier to recognize than he would have guessed.
Teeth?
He looks up and down the street for a culprit. There's no one. The truck sputters to a stop right in front of the Crow entry pavilion. He has to push it in neutral to the farthest possible lot from the entrance. He parks where a house used to stand, home to his first crush, his friend Wilbo's mother. On the torture floor, the worm is wailing, but Brent is the most stressed. Both Cinti and Garfin call out sick, so Brent has to personally step in to extract. Tamsha's been there nearly a week, yet still she hesitates. Her syringe empty 20 minutes into the shift. She suppresses a scream when Brent approaches.
Hey, newbie, que pasa? Don't be afraid, you can't hurt this big amigo.
Tamsha watches how the thing shakes to and fro, frightfully expels feces from one end. Or is it vomiting?
You sure?
Oh, a critter like this is beyond pain. Never even heard of it.
A guy in flavor said it's God.
Brent rolls his eyes.
I mean, I don't think it's our god.
And that's why it tastes so good.
The woman makes a wimpy face that sends Brent into a hidden rage.
Isn't that, like, wrong?
Brent shoves a syringe deep into the worm. It writhes with a high whinny. He jiggles it around as the creature trembles, then pulls on the plunger. Gray orbs fill the tube in swirls of iridescent slime. Tamsha's expression turns queasy.
Hey, what's going on?
I had heard rumors about the ingredient.
Tamsha sweeps a hand.
I didn't think it was this.
Hey, if we didn't do it, someone else would. I promise you that.
I get that.
I'm just doing my job.
It's my job, too.
Oh, is it? Show me.
He hands her a fresh syringe. Tamsha weighs the device, passing it between hands. Slowly, she pierces the worm's flank with a forearm-length needle, but only prolongs the spasms until the worm is gasping out both ends. Tamsha chews her cheek, grimacing.
Do we have to hurt it?
Brent sighs loudly.
Do you use AC?
What?
Air conditioning?
Like, in my apartment?
Anywhere. Do you?
Well, yeah, it's Toledo. We've got that weird lake effect weather.
Brent grabs the full syringe from her hands and expels the gray orbs into a strainer. He squishes a lid down and begins to clamp, draining the orbs of their gray grease.
Well, you ever touch one of those big ACs? Hot as a friend's mother. Know why? Because it doesn't actually make air cold. Most air, it heats up, except a little bit. It squirts in your house, your car, your mascot outfit. So you cool yourself, but every other creature gets hotter. But here's the deal. That's how the universe works.
Tamsha shifts between her feet.
I was talking about the worm.
There's only a fixed amount of everything. Even happiness, you can't create it. You can't destroy it. You just shift it around. You want to know why Crow tastes so good?
He slaps a palm to the worm, who jolts at the touch like it was an iron.
Because this little fella feels so much pain.
You can create happiness.
Nope.
He readies another syringe.
Take it from me. You can only feel good when someone else feels worse.
Oh, okay.
Tamsha nods. The queasy expression remains.
Sir.
At 7:18 p.m., Brent is one of the last workers to return to the parking lot. He does not remember he is out of gas until he starts the truck and it chugs, whirs, and turns itself off.
Shit!
The parking lot is mostly empty. He recalls that he canceled his roadside assistance after they failed to honor an expired coupon.
What am I going to do? Fuck!
He notices an empty can of Crow Midnight Thunder in the cup holder.
I mean, if just a can of it works, the pure stuff would have to work even better, right?
Brent scans his security card at the sensor, and with a hiss of pressurized air, he returns to the chamber. He is alone, save for the worm. It does not move as the lights flit back to life, does not react as Brent calls,
Hello!
If it weren't faintly crying, he might think the thing was dead. He goes to the strainer and sloshes the collection bucket. About 3 cans worth remain.
No one will notice.
He fills an empty 2-liter with the runoff and returns to the parking lot. Under the strobing glow of a dying lamppost, he pours the jelly-thick worm oil into his tank. He sits in the driver's seat, closes his eyes, and turns the key in the ignition. His truck burps to a start, then purrs like a fat cat. There are no jitters, no coughs.
Ha-ha! Cha-ching, baby!
He laughs, slapping the roof of the interior. He drives home, and when he passes the 2 men at the intersection, he flashes a peace sign. As he parks in the garage, he feels proud of his little experiment. He lets the radio play, pumping the air conditioning in the car while he plays drums on the steering wheel. A torrent of dark liquid sprays from the vents. He gargles as it fills his mouth over. He tastes pennies. He closes the vent, though it just turns the blast into a wild, misty spray. He wipes his face with his polo. The liquid stains the white fabric crimson. It's blood.
Oh, what the fuck? What the hell?
He turns off the engine, and the blood spray finally subsides. He takes off his shirt and wipes down the console. It looks like he committed murder with a baseball bat.
Oh, shit in my goddamn ass!
Brent mutters, walking shirtless into the house. He's wiping his tongue off on his palms when his doorbell rings. The horror of the garage cools when he opens the door to discover a package.
Oh, Beverly!
At once, he has forgotten the truck. His first shipment of the cow has arrived. He hugs it to his bare chest and runs inside.
What working man could have a bad day when he has a kill waiting for him?
He giggles. His joy fades as he opens the box.
Hooves? You've got...
He digs deeper.
Hooves?
Somewhere, a CEO is laughing. Brent wakes up late and hungry. He tried to cook the hooves for dinner, but produced only glue, which, as it turns out, was inedible. He won't be able to poop for a week. He attempts to cancel his subscription, but he paid for 6 months up top to save 3%.
The next package better at least have ears.
He stomps into the garage, eating burnt toast. The toast falls from his mouth into an oil slick.
What?
His truck, overnight, has transubstantiated. The windshield is a thin membrane webbed with blue squiggle veins. The wheels are each a bulky callus of rolling purple flesh. The headlights are weeping eyes, the gas tank a mouth, the exhaust a puckered star. It is all pink, purple, and bruised yellow flesh, laced with pulsing capillaries and sweating oil from broad visible pores. Brent checks his watch. He's missing the weekly status meeting. The door handle cracks like a dozen knuckles as he yanks it up. The door squelches open, every metal support now a bone and cartilage.
Things could be better, but they could be a heck of a lot worse.
The seat is a kidney, best as he can tell. It is surprisingly comfortable, despite smelling like roadkill. He slams the door shut and the truck winces.
Remember, Brent, you have a warm bed and a job. You're happy. Everything you need.
He sticks his key into an aperture not unlike an ear canal. He twists the key in the ignition and the car screams to life. The gas is a left foot, the brake a right. Webbed toes gently cup his feet in an embrace. He moves the gear shift, a tangle of bones and tendons, and shifts into reverse. With a touch of the gas foot, the car shakes in a violent convulsion. A scream rattles the bony frame. The living vehicle seizes, wobbling the fleshy interior with jello wiggles.
Oh, it's not that bad, baby. Come on. Purr for me.
He backs into the subdivision street. The car squirms to a gentle stop as he shifts into drive. He picks up some speed. The car wheezes and grinds, the tremors solidifying into pulses like the stride of a horse.
Don't worry, baby. Brent's got you in his hands.
He whispers. Brent is surprised to find himself turned on. Dwelling on this, he doesn't notice until the stop sign is behind him. He brakes too fast and the truck skids to a halt. It wails in agony. Smoke fills the cab and he coughs against the distinct smell of burning flesh. He opens the door for air and sees the wheels red and chafed, char burned in a black smear on the pavement. Brent skips the freeway, less out of concern for the truck than out of shame. Intimate though it is to ride inside a living creature, he senses something taboo about the union. Whatever observation he avoided by taking the side roads, as the car screams into the Crow a lot, he is a spectacle. Underlings and peers gawk at the fleshmobile as it trails blood into Crow General Parking A17, where his childhood street used to stretch. Brent tries to overcompensate for the shame. He squishes his fingers into the armrest.
Now, where is the window button?
He cannot find it among the pink flesh, so instead, he pushes his head and arm through the membrane like a baby being born, and waves to his coworkers, whooping and honking the horn, which sounds like a wail of garbled agony. Tamsha is stepping out of a Kia Sedona as Brent rolls by, and she cannot help but dry heave.
It's a custom job.
He shouts, his cheeks burning hot. His eye descends another 2 millimeters into his skull. An hour later, Brent is again on extraction duty. Difficult work given his failing eye.
Anesthetic.
Tamsha says, interrupting Brent's eye scratching. Except he's not satisfying an itch. He's trying to claw the orb back.
What?
We could give the worm anesthetic.
Brent smiles the way adults smile at children when they talk about the tooth fairy.
Interesting idea.
He says, rubbing both hands under his goggles.
We'd be able to extract more if it wasn't shaking so much. And it'd probably stay alive longer. Just think if
What did I tell you?
Brent slams a palm on the worm tank, and everyone stops their work to stare.
You think you know so much? Kid, you just started. What did I tell you?
Tamsha cowers without a response.
The pain is necessary. The pain is the ingredient. Jesus.
Tamsha sniffs hard. He does not realize she is beginning to cry.
I don't like causing most creatures pain.
She says,
I'm a pescatarian. That's not the way I live.
Oh, you don't? Okay then, go turn off the AC.
It's not the same.
Yes, it is. Go ahead, turn it off.
to her credit, Tamsha stands up tall, walks to the AC, and flips the switch to off. The fans turn off, and the sounds of the worm's cries stand out more amid the silence.
Hey! It's already getting hot!
Garfin says.
Turn it back on.
A couple others hoot in agreement.
We don't need to keep it on all day.
Tamsha defends. As though on cue, Charles, the regional head of operations, enters the room with an investor.
And this is where the magic. Ooh, howdy. Brent, what's the deal? It's sweltering in here.
Tamsha sprints to turn it back on, and the whole lab begins laughing at her. Charles smiles at the joke he missed.
See? End of the day, we all keep it on.
Brent grins. The lab technicians keep laughing. Pila slaps Brent on the back. His consumed eye finally goes black. After driving the audibly despairing truck home, Brent finds a fat brown envelope on his front porch from Digester. He gives in to cautious excitement as he opens it with a fancy letter opener. With a flourish, he upends the envelope over his kitchen table. An unpackaged cow tail slaps wet on the counter. He bites his lip until he tastes blood.
All right, that does it.
Brent has had enough of his subscription. He pulls up the app and proceeds through the arduous process of canceling his subscription. Page after page of "before you go" and "what if we offered you."
Confirm.
He shouts aloud with the final click, certain the chore is done. Another page appears. There is a $78 fee to dispose of Beverly's unused choice cuts. Brent's hands shake, and the black void of his consumed eye's vision turns red.
Fine. No. Whatever.
Brent begins to grumble through the payment, but he can't remember his CVV code. Worse yet, he left his wallet in the truck. He leaves his couch and stomps to the garage door, swings it open, and is stunned to immobility. Under the glow of a single energy-efficient bulb, he can see the truck propped upright off the epoxy flooring. The undercarriage is tilted high, revealing yellow fat cushioning the white of a sternum, the broad spread of bio-automobile ribs. The car is not breathing. At last, Brent sees an orange extension cord looped around the truck's body, suspending it to a creaking beam overhead.
Trucky, no!
As Brent runs to the truck, he reflects that he has never before named his truck and that he is not proud of what panic inspired. Yet, it sticks.
I'm not letting you die, Trucky.
He cries, trying to hoist the truck up from below. He pushes against the sternum. Blood and oil capsize the sailboats dotting his button-down. Suddenly, Truckee rattles. Pained gurgles emanate from the tailpipe.
Hang in there.
He says with immediate regret. Brent's eyes scan the garage and find a pair of hedge clippers he has never used. He picks them up and severs the cord. The truck at once collapses to the ground, wheels splayed. It coughs, drools, then begins to weep from its bloodshot headlights. Tears welling, Brent climbs into the driver's seat, caressing the goose-bumped skin of the dash.
Truckee, you can't do that. Don't you understand? You can't.
He lays his chin on the steering wheel while he finds his wallet and puts it in his pocket.
Weren't you thinking? How would I get to work in the morning?
The truck's crying goes silent.
I'm not taking the bus. Nope, no way.
He exits the cab, shaking his head at the vehicle.
Brent Brandon is not bus material.
He goes inside, rubbing at his one good eye. It itches. His skin is warm to the touch, forehead dappled with sweat. He sets the AC to full blast.